You're listening to the Real Estate Runway podcast, powered by QUATTRO Capital, where we are all about alternative business and investment strategies to help you amplify life and maximize wealth. Here's your host, the recovering engineer turned multifamily investor, Chad Sutton.
All right, Real Estate Runway family, today we're going to have a very special episode, QUATTRO Roundtable Edition, with Dr. Erin Hudson joining us on the show today, managing partner of equity relations with QUATTRO Capital. We're going to be focusing on a little bit of a self-help, self-development topic today called finding your superpower. You hear me ask this question on every show to every guest, and why is that? We think it's so important, knowing what you're good at, what you're excited about, and what generates the most value in your life. So without further ado, we're going to get right into that with Dr. Erin Hudson. If you get any value out of this show whatsoever, we really appreciate a 5-star review and a thoughtful comment. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Team QUATTRO Capital, one word, no special characters. And we just launched the Real Estate Runway podcast channel on TikTok. So we have embraced TikTok, and we're there as well. At Real Estate Runway Podcast is how you'll follow us there. So without further ado, let's get right into the show, and here we go. All right. Real Estate Runway family, welcome to another special edition of the QUATTRO Roundtable podcast on the Real Estate Runway podcast. We've got with us Dr. Erin Hudson, managing partner of QUATTRO Capital, along with me today. Erin, great to see you, friend. How are you? You looking very bright today for those on YouTube. How's life been? How you doing?
Oh, all is good. Listen, I've got 5 kids at home, all in school, delivering them to 4 different schools in the morning. So it's quite a feat. And if anyone wants one, they're for free today. That's where I feel. But other than that, life is good, my friend.
You know, folks, nothing is for free. It would be an investment, right? We always talk about investments. This would be the definition of an alternative investment, buying one of Erin's children. So anyway, love it.
No, life is good, my friend.
That's good. Well, today we're going to get into an episode about, we always talk about on this podcast, what is your superpower? Every episode any of you have ever heard me talk about, I always ask the question, what is your superpower? And why do we do that? It's such an important thing to know about yourself and about, there's no better way to identify someone's purpose in life and someone's ability than knowing what their superpower is. So, Erin, you have an uncanny ability to do this, to like help people figure out what are they best at, what is their superpower. You have incredible superpowers. Let's kind of start with what the hell is a superpower and why is it even important,
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, thank you so much for saying I have some great superpowers. I would agree. Let me just explain to you really quick. I want to share with you my superpowers, then we can kind of hone in on it and maybe you can make better sense of it. I would say 2 of my great superpowers are, number 1 is I'm super resourceful. I feel like whatever it is that is needed, I will find a way to get that piece of the pie and create something wonderful and solve a problem. So I'm super resourceful and solution driven, and I don't get stuck on the problems. A lot of people, when it comes to doing something, they're like, oh, I can't do it because I don't have A, B, C, or D. Well, what if you did have A, B, C, or D? Or what if you could find the person that has A, B, C, or D? So I feel like I'm really resourceful. The other thing I would say is I love people. I'm great with relationships. So I'm really good at raising money, which is such a great fit for multifamily and what we do here at QUATTRO Capital. But I would say that I am great at it because I love people and helping them win. So those are 2 of my superpowers. So I guess I would turn it back to you and say, what are your superpowers and what is the lane that you love to stay in which you most optimally flow? You don't have to there's not resistance with it. You don't procrastinate it. Like, where is it that you just flow? So that's really what I would say, Chad. What would you stack up on that when it comes to superpowers?
Yeah, and I guess I have to go on with the examples a little bit.
Yeah.
So, talking about myself, right? And all of you have heard me ask this question on exactly, I think at this point, we're at 117 episodes as of this recording. So you've heard me ask this question 117 times and I've never told you mine, right? So my superpowers and where, like exactly how you described it, where do I not procrastinate? Where do I excel? Right? It's really twofold. One of those is building systems, processes, or procedures to take complex things and make them easier, right? That could be a tool. Like, for example, I think if you've watched any of our webinars, we have internally developed financial tools because we didn't like anything in the industry. and we have developed, it's an easier way to take financials of a business or a property and understand what they mean. So, we focus on how do we do that in a simple way that's repeatable and you don't miss things. So that's a tool, right? That's a system. That's a process. Another one is this podcast, folks. This podcast, you guys may not know this. I have nothing to do with editing it. I have nothing to do with marketing it. I have nothing to do with scheduling it, right? There is an entirely automated system that I helped to build on the front end where, if you're a guest on this show, you go through, all sorts of automations and websites and things of that sort to get everything in place. I show up, we record, and then I disappear and my team takes it from there. And so it's like, it is a way to leverage, the best use of my time, which is sitting on here talking to folks like you, Erin, and anyone else who are on the show, and then not having to get bogged down in other things. So like that is a superpower. So that is creating systems, tools, and processes to make hard things easy. The other thing, is really finding value. And this is probably the main one, right? Finding value in numbers that others don't see. And that's kind of my core role here at Quattro. But it's like, I love figuring out in the weeds of like, okay, well, here is the picture everyone has been painted, right? Or everyone thinks that it's painted. But if I look at the brushstrokes a little bit differently, I can see a different way to make money, and that's really how I bring things to the table for Quattro, right? So the whole idea is, did I always know that? No, I didn't. And I think you asked some great questions there, Erin, is, and maybe we go back into that a little bit. If I am an individual and I'm like, what am I really good at? What is my superpower? What questions am I asking myself, to figure that out?
Oh, that's so good.
We may
Chad,
have to banter on this one. We'll see.
I love this question. I feel like what I get a lot of is, I don't know what my superpower is. Well, the truth is everybody has a superpower. And if you don't know what your superpower is, my friend, go ask your 3 favorite closest people. What do you see as my superpower? And then another thing that I will share about the superpower is, what is it that you love so much that is easy for you, where you feel like that is where it is the best time spent, i.e., because it yields the most money or profit for you. So I'm going to go there really quick. There's a lot of things that I do, or in my past that I've done that I had no business doing. What do I mean by that? Let's just call them $10 an hour jobs. They're jobs that, no disrespect, somebody else could do at a $10 an hour fee to me. I have no business doing some of those things. And so I'm going to share with you, you may already know this, it's a book called Who Not How. And if you're looking to explore more of what I'm talking about, I promise you, you will not regret buying that book or getting it on audio and taking a listen. It literally changed my life quite some time ago. And I promise you, it will help you to hone in and change yours as well. Because now at this point in my life, I am staying so in my flow state that I literally have a housewife at my home that comes in 5 hours a day, and she's doing all of those things that I have no business doing. And we can explore more about that, but it really is you staying in that lane where it's going to yield you the most fruit, i.e. money, and be best use of your time.
I love that you said that. And a little joke in there, folks. We have Erin and I have a mutual friend who I will not share the name of on this show for privacy purposes, but we've done a lot of work together, investments and everything like that. We were visiting them out in California, and his wife, who we had just met, who is also a superstar in her own regard, amazing person, as a wife in the house, right? You know, kind of what Erin just talked about, someone helping with all the $10 an hour jobs in the house. And she looked at me, and when they were trying to describe to me that I needed to hire my wife a wife, right? And she looked at me and she said, honey, she's like, we've had a lot of talks about this, and I will share my husband, but I will never share my wife, you know? So anyway, just a little food for a little risque joke there for you. But yeah, that's how important that can be in life, is having someone to help
Yeah.
you with the things you shouldn't be doing. And Erin, I think it was, you had a mentor at one point also that told you this, right? Back in your medical days?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we can touch on that as well, because I bet, believe it or not, there's probably at least a few of you that maybe perhaps were in the same shoes I was in when I was back in private practice in Southern California. I had hired a business coach, and the business coach says, I can see the holes in your business. And I'm like, holes? Like, what do you mean I got holes in my business? And she's like, because you're trying to touch everything in your business. You're doing all those jobs where you should have other hires doing those jobs, so that, again, you can stay most efficiently in your lane. So this has been ingrained in my head for quite some time. And many of us, with the wrong mindset, that scarcity mindset, think, oh my gosh, it's going to cost me too much money if I have to hire someone to do A, B, C, or D. But the truth of the matter is, it is an investment in yourself, and you pay for that help, and it allows you to go make money doing those things that are going to yield you a larger pay than doing those $10 an hour jobs. And so in doing that, I quickly went from a couple employees to 30 employees in my practice, and it literally changed everything. So it's now no different, not just in practice, but it's things that I've implemented into my home. And so when I say having a housewife, I love to just share, what do I mean by a housewife? What are those things that they're doing? Because, Chad, I know you're going to get your wife a housewife soon. You need to, because you will have a happier, more loving wife when she just gets a hand with things like this, guys. I have somebody that comes in and helps make my food prep for dinner that night, whether it's putting it in the slow cooker, doing the laundry, paying the bills. Sometimes there's days that I don't want to make my bed, or I didn't make my bed, and she'll come in and make the bed. She'll come in and make my protein shake in the morning. Like, there's a routine of tasks that she knows to follow each morning. Ladies, it's like getting a manicure and pedicure. So if you don't have one, talk to me offline, and I'll help and hook you up, but you won't regret it.
And I'm going to go ahead and drop this here now, because I hear some people probably trying to come through the podcast screen to find you. What is the best way to get in contact with you, Erin, if someone wants to do that right here, right now?
Yes, absolutely. I actually freely give out my cell phone number, and I'm just going to do it here. It's 949-510-3351. Because if you are a valued listener tuning in, you deserve my number, and I want to be able to get in contact with you and help you in any way that I can. Whatever that looks like for you, I'd love to add value. And on the real, you can really reach me on my email at Erin@theQuattro Way. And that's QUATTRO, Erin@thequattroway.com. Shoot me an email, and we'll definitely find a way to connect. I love, love, love pouring into others.
I love that, Erin. And getting back into the episode, so said another way, you know, what Erin just said is sometimes you have to consider the who's, not how am I going to get all this done, but who is going to help me get all this done. And it's an evolution. We still struggle with it. Erin and I both do in running Quattro Capital, right? And we actually were having a conversation this morning about the marketing firm we're going to hire to get some of that stuff off of our plate and do it 10 times better than we would ever do it, probably 100 times better. But we're also ingrained in looking at, oh my gosh, that's going to cost me $10 an hour to hire a person to do that. Oh my gosh. But just think for a minute. We always think in scarcity mindset. We think, okay, well, if my income is fixed and now I'm paying someone $10 an hour, my profits just went down, right? Well, sure, initially, right? But what if, just paint the picture, what if you spend half of your time doing what profits you the most and the other half of your time doing $10 an hour jobs? And I don't know, maybe what profits you the most is $500. Let's just give it an example. What if you all of a sudden could spend 6, 7, or 8 hours a day doing what profits you most at $500 an hour, but you were only doing 4, right? Then you just doubled your income, and for the price of what is that? 20% of what it would cost you to do those tasks, So I mean,
Right.
it's an incredible way to think about it when your income, your rewards in life, they're not fixed. They're completely tied to what you do, how difficult it is to do, and what the rewards are for it. So do more of that. You know what I'm saying? Any comments to that at
I
all?
love Geez, well, I love that you just said that. You guys can see he is a numbers guy. That's why we have him on the team. No, but I think also when you realize what your full potential is and what lane you want to stay in, it is going to give you confidence like you've never had before. Imagine if you are resisting doing some things and you procrastinate those things and you no longer have to do them because you have other mates or teammates on your side that are taking care of those things that you don't want to do. And that's exactly what Quattro has. Meaning, there's me, I'm very outspoken. I love people. Chad's really great with numbers. We can go lock them in a closet. And then we've got Kim Wenland, who's really, really great at asset management. And she came from, my goodness, she came from working with Fortune 50 companies, project managing
Billion. Yeah.
multi-billion dollar contracts. I don't want to be seen doing that. So guess what? I feel empowered that I get to stay in my flow state every single day by choice, right? So I have my superpower. We'll call it my greatest strength. You want to find partners and other mates that are opposite of you, that my greatest weakness is their greatest strength. That is exactly what we're talking about. And when you find that, there is this, I can't even explain it. It's like the Red Sea is partying and the sky is singing to you. And it's like you finally figure out what it's like to have a sense of freedom and get to do what it is that you desire to do every single day.
That is incredible. And that is the mic drop moment of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. So as a recap, figure out what your superpower is. What are you best at? What brings you joy? What makes you the most money of the things that you do? And of those, what do you most like? What do you most look forward to, least dread doing? That's how you answer that. And I think you actually mentioned go to your 3 closest friends, 1, 2, 3, for those on YouTube, and ask them exactly this question. Don't vary the wording. Don't ask them what your greatest strength is. Ask them, what is my superpower? If you had to name one superpower for me, and that's going to put them in the mindset of, oh, we're talking Superman and Catwoman here, right? Okay. Then they're going to think of what are you absolutely the best at that they know, right? And that's going to be your clue. So, Erin, thank you for coming on.
Chad, real
That's
quick,
fantastic.
let me just share one more thing real quick. When you figure out what your superpower is, you need to run with that sucker because you are highly, highly valuable and you need to share with others what your superpower is because believe it or not, there's going to be a way for you to link up with another individual that does not have your superpower, and together you'll be able to do great things. And so we look forward to hearing the outcome of you running with your superpower.
And you know what? I want to invite everyone right here in the comments, whatever you are listening to this on, go to the comments and I want you to just put hashtag superpower right at the front of it, or even tag us on any social media outlet we're on, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. We're now on TikTok, Erin, if you didn't know that. And, at Real Estate Runway Podcast, and let us know what your superpower is. Hashtag superpower. Okay. Because if you don't actually take action and figure out what this is, you're missing out. There are no successful and unsuccessful people. There are only those who have figured out what they're good at and how to exploit it, and those who have not yet. Okay? The key word is yet.
And hold on, check this out. If you put what your superpower is in our comments, you never know. Chad and I, or one of the partners, might be able to link 2 of you together when we see 2 people that we really like. And perhaps you can benefit one another. So you never know. There might be some pretty awesome outcome from it.
You never know. I'm wondering how long we can do this, Erin. We've been going back and forth with mic drop moments for the last 5 minutes. I love it.
It's pretty fun. Okay,
It is.
I'll hush.
Any final thoughts on this though, Erin? I mean, this is an episode I really feel like we could just talk about all day long because it's so passionate and near and dear to our hearts. But any final thoughts on it?
No, I just think, hey, listen, the truth of the matter is find that superpower, reach out to Chad, Erin, anyone at the Quattro Way. We'd love to help water that seed, and let's get you out in the forefront doing something great and get you in that lane that you belong in.
I love it. Erin, thank you for coming on the show, dear. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Not like I don't chat with you 5 times a day, but more fun to do it on the show. And we'll have you on again soon, all right?
All right. Take care. Bye now.
All right, Real Estate Runway family. That was a fantastic episode with Dr. Erin Hudson talking about finding your superpower and why it's so important and critical to you being amazing at what you do. So with that being said, if you got any value out of this episode, please like us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on YouTube nowadays. We actually have a TikTok channel at Real Estate Runway Podcast that is launched, I believe, as of this recording. And leave us that 5-star review and thoughtful comment. Those are really the best thing that you can do to help us grow the show. We'd really appreciate that. If you want to apply to be on the show, visit us at thequattroway.com/podcast. And if you would like to drop us an email, say hello, email us at podcast@thequattroway.com. Until next time, this has been another episode of the Real Estate Runway Podcast. Over and out.
We hope this episode was insightful and brought value to your day. If so, please be awesome and leave us a 5-star review. Find out how Team Quattro can help you at thequattroway.com. Until next time, this is the Real Estate Runway Podcast.